A quarter of the once fertile land on Earth is now dust and sand as a result of human activity.
These areas have been plagued by droughts and food insecurity for centuries. In the dry season, insufficient rainfall results in water scarcity, low crop production and a severe reduction in tree coverage. This in turn causes a loss of plants and animal species. A low biodiversity means crops are more susceptible to pest attacks. In the rainy season, intense bursts of precipitation can destroy and wash away soil, newly planted seed and crops. This is called desertification. The land is degraded to an unusable state, and people are forced to migrate to more prosperous areas.
The UN and the World Food Programme were not prepared for a refugee crisis on this scale. As a result, many refugee camps are crowded and undersupplied, subjecting people to cold, hunger and disease. So many decided to seek asylum in Europe. Between 2007 and 2014, the European Union had invested about €2 billion into fences, high-tech security technology and border patrols.
The quality of our future depends on our ability to change these developments. The good news is it can be done with landscape restoration. An economy that restores and uses the landscape with sustainable business cases. That's the goal. It all begins with inspiration, with a new future perspective for all those involved, and a common plan for restoration of the landscape. From this, jobs are created, and that leads to social bonding and, for example, education and security. Restoration also leads to the return of natural capital, such as biodiversity, fertile land, water, and a stable climate. That attracts financial capital, first as an investment, later as a return. This is what we call the 4 returns. Return of inspiration, return of social capital, return of natural capital, and return of financial capital. To achieve these 4 returns, we developed 3 landscape zones. A natural zone in which biodiversity is restored and maintained. A combined zone, which is rehabilitated with farmers working the land. And an economic zone for sustainable business activity. It takes an average of 20 years, in other words, a generation, to restore a landscape. If we start now, we will create the basis for a different world. This is what inspires us.